Hello everybody. Thank you for coming to my channel, Christine Louise on Paper. I've had a couple of you comment on my planners when I'm doing flip throughs. I reference the Starch Solution in some of my health information, and people have asked me questions about this and what I think about it. So I wanted to do a quick video telling you about my experience with the Starch Solution. I'm not going to do a real long video, and I am not a professional YouTuber, so this is going to be full of stuttering and making mistakes. I saw the Starch Solution referenced in my YouTube feed arbitrarily. I wasn't even looking for nutrition or anything like that. Well, it was very serendipitous because I was maxing out my weight. I was the heaviest I've ever been, and feeling worse than I've ever felt because I have completed menopause and I had no energy. I was heavy and I was getting to the point where it was starting to scare me. So the fact that it showed up in my feed was, man, it was a life changer. That day I went to the bookstore after watching some of the videos and the success that people have had. I went to the bookstore, ran to the bookstore, and they had a copy, and I bought it, and I came home and I read it that day. A lot of the book, the back of it is recipes, so it wasn't hard to read it in one day, especially when you're miserable and really looking for some hope. The next day, I got a journal and wanted to document, because as a planner, that helps me when I can write and use inspiration. And this obviously helped, and my whole journey is in here. I wanted to bring this out to show you my before and after pictures, so you could get an idea how heavy when I started. That is my before picture. It is very big. I don't want to even say what I weighed. It was a lot. And being short, I'm 5'2", I was miserable. So I want to go ahead and show you my after picture. This is once I leveled out, eating according to the plan. Not dieting, just eating according to the plan. And I leveled out at a size 8. That's my after picture. Huge difference. I ended up losing about 40 pounds. I'm not sure down to the pound, but I went from a 14, 16 to an 8, and it's pretty close to 40 pounds. I just wanted to make a couple statements about my experience. The first 2 weeks were really hard. I had been a vegetarian since I was a very young person, maybe 15, 16 years old. I quit eating meat. I quit eating meat, all meat, for personal, spiritual reasons. But I stayed a vegetarian my whole life and was what Dr. McDougall refers to in the book as a fat vegetarian. And it was such a struggle my whole life because I didn't eat meat. It was so hard to find a healthy way of eating, still get my protein without being overweight. My biggest problem was, as a vegetarian, I got most of my protein from dairy. Milk, eggs, yogurt, cheese. Other than that, where else, did I think I would get my protein from? So all my life I struggled with weight, trying to eat and feel satisfied without eating any meat. It was just really hard. I focus also on starch because what else could I have? And it led to me just always being overweight. Not to mention even the times in my life where I really did overeat, chips, cookies, stuff I had no business eating. Especially, like I said, as a short, older woman, that it's not, you can't eat like that. So the first 2 weeks, I had cut out all animal products, including dairy, all dairy, cheese, and was eating according to the plan, which is vegetables, as clean as possible, whole foods, no processed foods. And the last really hard part was, because I had so much to lose, no fat, meaning no healthy fat. The McDougall plan, he does not condone oil. So there's no oil, definitely not the vegetable oils, which are awful. You can use some olive oil, but that's when you don't have weight to lose. When you have weight to lose and you really want to lose it fast, you cut out all fats, which means no seeds, no peanut butters, no avocado. All those healthy fats are still fat. And when you're coming down to 60 years old, female, if you're not burning them, you're not going to be eating them. So the first 2 weeks were really hard because I was eating mostly raw vegetables and high protein starches and unprocessed foods. I think the hardest part in the beginning, the first 2 weeks I lost no weight, and it was very hard to make such substantial changes and not lose an ounce. I lost nothing. The second hardest part of the first 2 weeks was desensitizing your taste buds. Dr. McDougall goes into detail about if you want to be healthy, live healthy, eat healthy, your food can't be but so interesting. You can't load it down with condiments and definitely not fats and expect to be able to eat really healthy without desensitizing your taste buds. So those first 2 weeks were hard. I had to get used to the no butter, no cheese, no nothing, just clean vegetables and clean starches. Really hard. After those first 2 weeks, well, let me preface this. I felt fantastic. Thank God I did, because that's probably the only reason I was able to keep going, was I felt so good. Now, after those 2 weeks, I started losing like crazy. I mean, the weight just started to fall off. And I've never had weight fall off fast. Not with Weight Watchers, not with any other diet. I always lost really slow. No matter how good I was, no matter how militant I was, I would lose 1/8 of a pound a week. A good week, maybe 1/4 of a pound. Well, this time it was falling off. I didn't use the scale because that doesn't work well with me. Because I lose weight so slow, I do better when I just watch in my clothes. And my clothes were falling off. I was going down at least a size a month, and I swear some months it was more than a size. I lost about 40 pounds in about 3.5 months, and that's insane. And they also usually tell you if you lose fast, you won't keep it off. Well, this is the exception. This plan is so healthy, and your body is so happy that I haven't gained an ounce. And I, in the winter, have stopped all the exercise that I was doing in the beginning. I was walking 3 miles a day. I had to stop that in the winter. That did not affect it. Once in a while, I cheat. Once in a while, I will have something fattening. Once in a while, I will have French fries that are deep fried. It's not often, but I do. And I don't want to do any plan where I can't cheat once in a while. I don't want to do any plan where I've got to be at the gym an hour a day. So through thick and thin, pardon the pun, I've kept every pound of this off, give or take, whether I'm exercising or whether or not I'm having some cheat days. I am thankful to Dr. McDougall for how he has stuck by his ideology, his science, even though the whole world says he's crazy. You know, the world loves keto. Everybody tells you carbs are the enemy. Well, that's all I eat now is carbs and vegetables. I eat greens. I eat a lot of potatoes, a lot of beans, But again, I'm not putting fat. I don't have fat on the potatoes or my vegetables. I have, over the months and year and a half, I've learned to come up with condiments without any fat that taste good and replace butter and cheese. Maybe I will do a video on that one day, but that'll be a separate video. Like I said, it's been a year and a half. I'm going on 2 years, and I've maintained this, and I've never gone to bed hungry. After doing Weight Watchers a few years in my life and going to bed hungry all the time, I will never do that again, because now I know I don't ever have to do that again. I never have to be hungry. If I'm hungry, I go eat some steamed broccoli or some clean black beans. I don't have to experience that anymore. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them down below, and I'll be happy to answer them. And I hope you have a good day. Bye.